Hello and welcome back for the final time. The earlier footage you saw, I just wanted to get that one in, but I wanted to show you these guys now on ground level, up close and personal, and I've reposed them all. So we'll come into Joker again, and there you can see him. He's got the original weapon back in his hand that I've had him with for quite a while. But I've taken his hand off his hip. I've kept the angle of his face, but he's pretty much in the same pose as you saw him originally. And I do like, as I say, that figure. But with me, I like to create movement in my figures. That gives it a better dynamic. So we'll come to Carrie Kelly. So I managed to get her on one leg, sort of springing into action. And again, I often hear that they don't like the look of this character, especially the goggles, but I think that's kind of a clever look that Frank Miller came up with, and it's got a lot of personality, this figure, a lot like my Damian Wayne figure that you will see in the future. But to get her in that pose, because the joints are pretty good, isn't always easy, because you've got to find the balance and feel the weight of this figure. But once you get it, it will stay there forever. So I'm very pleased, because this is how she's going back in my display. I just go close to those goggles. You can actually see the eyes. I love that. And I've got her with the weapon she came with, the slingshot. And I'll keep her like this now, because when I first got the figure, that's how I posed in. And then I thought, well, we've got some weapons from my accessory pack, so I used that. And as you saw in the earlier footage, she had Batman's lasso. But I thought, let's get her back into the original weapon she came with. And then we'll come to Batman. You'll see him there in the background. And when I first got him, I had him on the horse holding that lasso batarang. And I loved that look that he had. But I thought, he's got to have big guns in his hands, because he does look awesome when he does. And again, I've tried to create movement with this figure. You know, as you can see down in the foot area, along with his gripping hand and his fighting fist, because I've left his fist on there, and obviously he's got his gripping hand to grip the lasso. And overall, I do like that effect. He's coming in to give Joker a whooping. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's just to try and give you some ideas. You've probably got these figures. There are versions of it out there, but I collect McFarlane's, and a lot of the guys I like to look at on the internet who are reviewing these figures, it's kind of a hit and miss opinion on the figures. But it's my old saying, as I said, most of my collection I waited for, and I haven't paid full price. And I would say 2/3 of my collection, especially with these figures, being half price or less. And this wave, actually, when you're paying full retail to get that horse, you end up paying nearly 100 quid. But I waited, and I think it worked out to about 45, so I can't really complain. And so with that, I love that face of Joker. I like that actual Batman in the background squaring up to him. And then Carrie Kelly is also ready to jump into action. But yeah, as I said, I like to pose the figures, create movement. I try to create that here. I hope you've enjoyed watching this stuff. I'm going to keep going with it. I've got a few ones coming up that I'm waiting for Jango Fett from the Black Series Star Wars, but he's not arrived yet, so I might have to go to something else after this, because that really was my next one. But on that note, looking at that which I created, this is the way these figures will go back in my display. So I say thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. That's a nice shot, even though I say so myself.